Gentlemen, welcome back to the Tiege Hanley Starting a Business, Building a Brand vlog. This one, big number 109. So, a few vlogs ago, I told you that I was remodeling, or actually I showed you the in-progress sort of situation that was going on in one of the rooms in my office. I'm converting into a new studio. Well, it's not done 100%, but it's getting close. And so I thought, hey, let me take the boys in and actually show you what is going on. Now I've got to get this place soundproofed. I've got to get some other stuff going on. I've got to get a carpet, but check it out. Oh, wow, right? New floors, looking good. Little back wall action. The other cool thing that I did, I painted the trim the same color so it would look really good for studios. But look at this, ready? Check it out. My wall of lights. Let me turn this off so you can actually see it. Oh. Right there. Look what I did, right? I was like, hey, if I'm gonna be making my dream studio, I might as well like hook it up. And so I've got these lights here, like you can probably hear, it's super echoey, but I think it's going to be absolutely spectacular when I'm finished. It's just gonna take a little bit of work getting it from here to where I can actually use it. Because ready, see if you can hear the difference when I go into my studio, right? It's like the noise just kind of evaporates. But anyway, that is what's going on, and I'm really excited about that. It's, like I said, a work in progress. But now we got some super exciting stuff today to talk about. Real quick recap from last week. I told you guys about me getting rid of one of my businesses, and it's still just absolutely amazing. I feel incredible. A lot of people were actually surprised based on the comments, like, wait a second, you can actually make money selling fancy glue dots? And yes, you can. Somebody else can, not me anymore. Anyway, I want to talk to you today and tell you a little bit about what is going on, because we got big things happening at Tiege. All right, boys, first thing we need to talk about. Remember probably more than a few vlogs ago, I said, hey, you know this little card that comes in each Tiege Hanley system? What can we do to make it better? You guys have absolutely amazed us at how much incredible information and valuable information you guys had. This was the old back of the card, right? And now here's the thing. I truly feel that this card was one of our great ideas at Tiege Hanley. Because, you know, we can send you a kit and we can tell you, you know, on the back of a bottle how much to use or what you should do and in what order. But I really felt like, and we all apparently felt like, this kit really deserved or needed some type of visual representation of what you should be using. Because honestly, it's really tough. And if we are trying to get people to use this in a 30-day sort of 30-day system, you need to give people more direction than just like use this in the morning or use this at night. So anyway, this card was one of our great accomplishments. The problem is that it wasn't really super sexy, and with us being all about being uncomplicated, we felt that it could be better. And so we have changed it to this. Check it out. Old card, not really like super interesting to look at, and there's a lot of text on there. Our new card, which one do you think is better? So the way that it works is, in the morning, obviously we've broken it down by basically 3 different sections. You've got the morning routine, you've got the evening routine, and then you've got some additional information, including dosing and things like that. And so we took a lot of your information and applied it to the new redesigned cards. And you should start seeing these new cards in your kits starting like the next shipment probably. So really excited about that, really incredible. Something else you guys have been asking for that we're really excited to report is that Acne is obviously, it's locked and loaded like we talked about, but now is the time where we actually need your help. We've talked about on numerous occasions like how important and how critical your feedback and your opinion has been in directing Tiege Hanley. You guys chose, before we ever launched our packaging, this is the packaging you picked. You wanted it matte black, you wanted the shiny logo, shiny cap, and honestly, this is such a sexy, good job. Well done. Well, it is time once again for us to go to our advisors, you guys, to let us know what you think the new Acne system should look like. Now, there are two different questions I'm asking you, and down in the comments, so here's the thing. Last time we sent a survey out. This time we actually just want you to comment down below. There are two questions. Question number one, what color do you like better? And question number two, what do you think that the Acne product should be in? A tube like this with a little cap and you squeeze it out, or an airless dispenser? Please note, when I show you these, the text on it is going to be changing. It's really just for you to see what color scheme you like better, and for us to get a feeling of if you would prefer and think that the Acne product should actually be in a tube or a dispenser. So without any further ado, here they are. Option number one, the same old Tiege Hanley packaging, which obviously is a crowd pleaser. It's very sexy, dark, mysterious, with a nice matte finish to the tube and shiny cap, shiny logo, and all that good stuff. Or do you prefer the white packaging with the matte feel, the matte finish of the white tube? The logo will be shiny, and the cap will be a super shiny black, just like the other one, but the color scheme, obviously, we're going white as opposed to black. Pretty sweet, right? Well, what do you think? Should we keep it standard, business as usual, black, or go white? I'm going to reserve what my opinion is for now, but down in the comments, let us know. Also, let us know what you think. Should we have the product in a tube or an airless dispenser? So really it's like number like one and say white or black, and then two, airless or tube, right? In the comments down below, please. Thank you. And this is critical to us. Basically, you're picking. It's up to you. It's not up to us. We go to you because you are smarter than we are. Just to give you a little idea of how the Acne system will be working, it's essentially a level 1 system. You still have your wash, and you're going to wash your face twice a day like normal. You still have your exfoliating scrub. Same as the other exfoliating scrubs, you're going to use this twice a week. But then, in the morning, you're going to be putting on the Acne formula, and then once that dries, you're going to apply your AM moisturizer with SPF. In the evening, same business as usual. We have the wash, but then instead of the PM, you're going to be applying the Acne formula again. No nighttime moisturizer. And this is essentially the system. No eye cream, no anti-aging serum. You're just adding acne, removing PM. And it is a rock star. We've been testing it, and people are loving it. We're toying around with offering like 2 different levels, like a more intense version, a little bit easier version, because it is a incredible product. And so things are good, but now we need your opinion to tell us what packaging to pick. So now let's talk about what I alluded to last time. I did a video entitled something like best morning skincare routine or something that I posted on the YouTube channel. Like I assumed, it didn't get crazy views, but because it was skincare specific, it did incredible in terms of conversions. Lots of coupon codes redeemed. It was awesome. But then, like I mentioned last time, we were going to test things out, and we were going to run and basically boost that video. And so what happened, we basically picked, or Ryan, remember Ryan, our old dude who was handling a bunch of stuff for us, who fired us? Well, he's back, and he's helping with this because this is kind of his sweet spot and what he's very good at. And so he went in and basically created 2 different lists out of my subscribers, or people that watch my videos. One list of people that this ad showed to on the right-hand side were people that watched my videos. It could be a subscriber or not a subscriber who have watched a video in the past 7 days. The other list is subscribers who haven't watched that video. And basically we threw money at it. I think we threw like $3,000 at it just to see what happened. Ultimately, you want to see what it looks like when you boost something? Check this out. From my Creator Studio app on YouTube, this is the back end. I can see the past 48 hours in terms of views. Can you tell where we started to spend? Boom, it just shoots up, and we gained basically out of those, or that $3,000, we gained 50,000 views. It came to around like 6 cents a view, And, you know, it was a big test. And so at that point, once we knew when we were turning it on, we went and we looked at all the data prior to that. And we basically did it at like the 24-hour point. So we had all the data from 24 hours. It's like, okay, right now we're switching it. Boom, what happens now? And it was crazy successful. And I think one of the main reasons it was so successful is because people were choosing to watch it as opposed to a pre-roll. And like we talked about before, the pre-roll, you can't like click to the page and click to, but the ad out to the right-hand side and where this showed was sort of the recommended side, or those videos on the recommended side of the page. So it says ad, but people are choosing to watch it. And so inevitably, if you're choosing to watch something about skincare, our logic and our thinking was that it would directly, impact and increase the amount of sales that we got. And we were right. Traffic through the roof, sales through the roof. It was incredibly successful. We turned it off and things returned to normal. But it was a great experiment and a great test. And so what we decided to do again, since we had some initial data, is let's boost it again. Let's see about 4 to 5 days later what happens if we try this little experiment again. And we just, like as of today, are boosting it again. And so I don't know what the results are of that yet, but I will make sure to report back once I sort of have more information. But if it works again and we're basically on the positive and we're making more than, say, the $3,000 spend, and how you figure out sort of the value of something like that is a little bit complex. And we've discussed it and touched on it in other vlogs, because there's a value to sending a person to the website. The other thing is that we sent like thousands, like 10,000, 15,000 visitors to the Tiege Hanley website. What happens as a result of that, even if they don't buy, then we're basically employing the remarketing aspect to the marketing equation. And so now all these people that came, they didn't necessarily buy, now we can advertise to them. And so sales tend to escalate anytime you have a huge spike in traffic to your site, if you have everything set up correctly on the remarketing front. And so we're testing it again. If it works, guess what? Do it again. And if it works again, do it again. I feel and I think, but I could be wrong because I have no idea, that it will start to diminish. The return will start to go down a little bit. But I don't even know why. I don't know why. I think that. I just think it would. But since it's showing to new people and people that have never watched the video, who knows? But it's really exciting, and it's cool to try something and have it work as well as we thought it would. And so, at the end of the day, one of the takeaways is you got to test things. You got to try things. And if you find something that works, do it again. And if it works, do it again. And when it stops working, take a step back, reevaluate, see what's up. Now, I would like to actually get to a few questions that I saw in the last vlog. First one comes from our boy Ben. He says, at what point after starting one's business should one go full-time and dedicate all their time to it? This is an impossible question to answer, because really it's going to depend on you, your business, and your security. What I would recommend is, so the way that I look at this, and this is just me, is that, okay, so say you want to start a business. It's really tough to just go all in, right? Like right away, like I'm starting a business. I don't have any customers. I really don't even have like a product yet, but I believe in myself and I'm going to just start. So you go and you quit your job. So your income at this point, zero. Your expenses are going to start to go up. And the thing that makes business and entrepreneurship really unfun really fast is having huge, like monstrous bills and not having any income. That's really scary. So for me, the way that I've always done it is I'm going to do things on the side. So I've got my secure, like steady income. And for me, it was personal training. And for years after my fitness center closed, I still was a personal trainer, for the majority of the day. And I worked on my other businesses sort of on the side. And part-time, nights, weekends, and all that good stuff, because I needed to make sure that my bills and my expenses were covered. Once it started to kind of even out, where I was like, okay, this other business is starting to make more money. It's starting to get a little bit of traction. You're feeling good. Then you start to maybe back off of the regular job and start to do and commit a little bit more time to that project or the business that you're starting. And there's going to come a time at which you need to make a decision. It's real easy if all of a sudden you start this business and it's like, yeah, and it's like money fights and everything's coming in, but that rarely ever happens. It's usually something where you're like close. You're like almost making enough to do it full time, but you're not sure and you don't want to, well, you got to jump at some point. If you believe in yourself and you're close or you've got you're like there, I say do it as long as you're doing it responsibly. You know, and for me, being an entrepreneur has always been kind of easy. You know, I have a wife, I've got some cats, but I don't have kids. So I don't necessarily have that responsibility that some of my other friends do that have, you know, lots of expenses and lots of responsibilities, and you got to make sure that your kids are taken care of and that your obligations are being realized. The other thing and bonus that I had is that my wife always has had a good job, and she's always made, you know, pretty good money. But for me, I was too prideful. I would never in a million years ask her to sort of, you know, like, hey, can you support, like, it was, I would do whatever it took to make sure that I was still contributing, because honestly, I think that that's one of the tricky things is when you're starting a business and you've got a spouse, and if they're super supportive, they may say to you, baby, this is your opportunity, go for it, and you go. But I think that if you start something, I've heard too many horror stories where people have started businesses, their spouse was supportive at first, but it didn't necessarily, like, it didn't get off the ground as fast as possible, and the significant other starts to resent you after a while of no income and promises, right? Because you know, it's like, I promise, it's just that, and so you just have to be responsible, and you got to make sure that your bills are covered. But once you start making enough where you feel secure in the fact that you can do this, then by all means, jump. Floyd Mayweather, really? Says, should I register a company before or after I launch? Thank you, sir. I personally have always done sort of the legwork first. Like, I want to make sure that all of the legal paperwork is taken care of, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know, you know, because that's the stuff that you can get out of the way. I would absolutely make sure that you register before starting a business, just so that you can do things properly. Like, you need to register in order to get a business bank account. You need to, like, you got to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success and not a big, humongous headache. Because if you start, you know, doing things and commingling funds and stuff like that, it can get a little bit complicated. Not a little, it can get super complicated. So I would highly recommend do the paperwork, do the legwork. It's not that expensive. It doesn't take that much time. Do it first, or in conjunction with you actually starting the business. But don't like launch and then be like, yeah, you're selling, you're doing whatever, and then try to go back. I say, plan for success, do it first. Joey Jordan has a great question. He says, what advice do you have for someone who already runs and works in a business, but knows the key to wealth is creating multiple income streams? You're damn straight, my friend. Multiple income streams. Man, this is a great question, and I think it is it's a great question. So here's the deal: do you need multiple income streams to build wealth? The answer is no. You just need to do what you're doing and that one thing really, really well, or figure out a way to do it cheaper, or maximize your profit and keep expenses low. But if you can find something else that you can do or diversify and have multiple streams of income, this is an incredible position to be in for a few reasons. Reason number one, of course, you're going to make money. A lot of times when you find something that is passive income, you don't actually have to exchange like time for dollars. So if you're somebody who is an hourly employee, right? You work an hour and you get paid a salary. Or even if you're not an hourly employee, you work for a company, you've got to work 40 hours to make X number of dollars. Passive income, on the other hand, but back to that, you're still exchanging your time for dollars. Passive income, on the other hand, is when you don't have to actually be doing something or working for something in order to get money from it. Perfect example, I used to have a membership website for I Am Alpha M, where I had a ton of videos up there. People would pay me a monthly subscription fee. Like I would go to bed and I would wake up, I'd have 10 sales. Even if it was like $6, it's still $60 that I didn't have when I went to bed. Did I have to do something while I was sleeping in order to make that money? The answer is no. That's awesome. The other reason it's incredibly beneficial to have multiple income streams is that it's the whole, you don't have all your eggs in one basket. That's one of the scary things for when I look at people. You know, if you get laid off, you're like, if you work for a company, you're totally screwed. If you're like just a YouTuber, and that's one of the things that one of the main reasons why I'm so focused as an entrepreneur of creating these multiple businesses, is that I don't want to rely all of my, you know, financial success and well-being on one thing, because like YouTube has proven that they change things all the time. The other thing, perfect example, is Vine, right? You had all these people on Vine that were making a living, they were doing great, and then all of a sudden, boom, like Twitter kills it. It's like, nope, we're done. Then they had to scramble and figure out what else to do. YouTube, they changed the whole like profanity and that whole thing when that was going down, and all these creators that were, you know, a little bit racier, all of a sudden they lose 70, 80, 90% of their income overnight. What do they do? What do they do if they don't have something else to basically supplement their other business? And so for me, I think having multiple income streams is for me, it makes me feel better. I also feel like that is a way for me to build long-term wealth. Is it necessary? Is it needed? If you do one thing really well, absolutely not. Because here's the downside, it can be a distraction. And that was sort of, to tie it back to last vlog, that was the big issue, is that the fashion anchor, although it was making me passive money, it was still a distraction and not one that I wanted. And so that's a big vlog. What do you think? I think I'm probably over my allotted time. But guys, so much, we covered so much. You guys are so incredible. Hopefully you like these. Hopefully down in the comments you let us know, white or black, tube or airless pump. Guys, you rock so hard, it is ridiculous, and I will be back to report the winner, I think, probably, if we can collect the data, next week. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. It truly is an amazing ride, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you. You rock. It's ridiculous.